Mickey Talks.
It is Mickey. It is Mickey Talks. I cannot be more excited. It is, what episode is it, Matt? 30?
Number 33 today.
Do you know why this is so important to me?
Tell me.
Greatest Oriole of all time. Who is it?
Number 33?
Eddie Murray.
Eddie.
So I'm really pumped about this being show 33.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever talked to Eddie?
I met Eddie one time, literally, hello, nice to meet you, Mr. Murray, at the WBAL building. I did have a chance, like I say, a moment. I had like 3 minutes with him downstairs in the elevator lobby.
Yep.
He was going up to do TV. I was getting off the elevator. He was standing there with another guy and Jerry Sandusky.
Yep.
And then when I came out, Jerry said, Mickey, like gave me a cool, what's up? Speaking of which, I got to call Jerry to get him on the show.
Yeah, that'll be
Voice
good.
of the Ravens.
We got a bunch of people lined up right now.
Oh, my God. I'm going to get into that, but let me finish this other Eddie Murray story. So I came off the elevator, said, what's up, Jerry? And then I looked up and I was like, wow, Eddie Murray, how you doing? And I could say he doesn't really, I don't blame him. The press here was not very nice to him over the years, but within 30 seconds, I think he knew I was like a fan. And he was really nice to me. And then my friend Jim McFall from Crushing Day and Ross both are going to do the show soon. But who I was in bands with for a long time. Jim is the biggest Eddie Murray fan I know, him and his friend Mike Agro.
Yeah.
And they made posters for Eddie's Hall of Fame. And I'm going to wait for Jim to tell the story because it's his story to tell. But it's one of the coolest sports hero stories you'll ever hear.
Well, I love it too. I mean, he reminds me of my childhood.
Everything,
going to the stadium with my dad, Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
And same thing. I met him very briefly once. And
yeah.
all I can say is he was just very nice to me.
He was incredibly kind. But I mean, if you know baseball greats have him like in the top 10.
Yeah.
For real. I mean, he was the third guy in the history of baseball to go 500 home runs, 3,000 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, I think, and him.
Wow.
That ain't bad company.
Right?
Yeah. And then Rafael Palmeiro got in the club. And now I think a couple others have done it. But for the longest time, that was like the benchmark record. 500 home runs, 3,000 hits in your career. And I remember I was standing in Padonia. Well, then it was Graffiti's in Timonium. I was standing next to Mark Londas, the owner, when Eddie hit his 500th home run. And I just remember, like, I got a little emotional because he was my Oriole guy.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then when he left and, he went to L.A., he went to Cleveland, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Watching him, be Eddie Murray somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then when he came back at the end, it was like it was such a great thing knowing that Eddie Murray broke that record in Baltimore. Like, it was just a huge thing for me.
For sure.
Yeah,
Agreed.
So that's why 33 means so much to me.
All right.
I'd love to have Eddie Murray on this show one day.
Let's make it happen.
I'm not kidding you. If somebody made a top 5 all-time list, who would be on the show? Eddie Murray would be in my top 5.
Where's he living now?
I don't know. I know he's in Maryland. I don't know if he has businesses here.
Okay, so he's local. That's good.
I don't know. I know that sometimes I hear he's in town. I don't know if it's just for the Orioles fly-ins. I don't know where he lives. But I do know that he's, in my opinion, the greatest baseball player I ever saw play. I don't know how to argue anybody with it because it's eras and people say this person's better, that whatever. Just for me in my lifetime, Eddie Murray was the greatest Oriole that I ever saw.
No disputes here.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Speaking of great guests, man. Okay, so tomorrow, my good friend Bill King, longtime comedian, the best road stories. He's going to be hilarious tomorrow. He does impressions of like old timer guys, and it's just funny.
Love it.
And I love the guy, and he's a great storyteller, and he's been around, man. So he'll be great. Wednesday, the legendary Marty Bass.
Yes.
From Channel 13. He'll be on. Thursday, we have head coach of the Baltimore Blast, David Bascombe. He's from Bermuda, has an amazing life story that I want to share with people. Friday, we will know for sure tomorrow, but it looks like we may be live every Friday at Natalie's.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. The show, man, when we started this thing 32 episodes ago, or now 33.
A month ago, yeah.
A month ago, basically.
Yeah.
We had no idea what was going to happen. And we had no idea where this thing was going to go. And it's been unbelievable.
Already got a sponsor.
We've had a sponsor since the second week, which is Barnes Paving, by the way.
That's right.
Thank you, Matt. BarnesPaving.com, the best asphalt paving company in Maryland, in my opinion. They are MHIC licensed and insured. Please give them a call. There is no job too big or too small. BarnesPaving.com. That's BARNES paving.com. Or give them a call, 443-243-3710. Everything from commercial to residential, and cover just about all of Maryland and Southern PA. BarnesPaving.com. Thank you, Barnes. But yes, we have more sponsors on the way. We have a lot of people that are like really interested, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. You know what I mean?
We're doing everything here. We're doing the technical side. We're of course doing the show, and then the whole sales part of this thing is talking to sponsors.
And Matt, I want to tell you, I went to M3 Festival this weekend and talked to about 40 people that just walked up to me. Dude, I saw your show with this guy. I saw the podcast with this guy. So many people too, Matt, and this is for you. Compliment the fluidity of the show.
Good, because I've been messing it up a little bit today.
That happens, dude. But I mean, you're doing the show and working a video switcher at the same time. By the way, I want to make this announcement right now on the show. If you are a young college student and want some experience, I'm just being honest. We don't have any money. But if you're
it would be an internship.
It would be an internship.
Get school credit for it.
If you can get school credit, we are looking for someone that would like to maybe work the switcher, and help us technically. So if you'd like to do that, write an email to MickeyTalksPod@gmail.com. Isn't that it? It's
MickeyTalksPod@gmail.com. Maybe somebody with some social media experience. Take some photos for us. And,
well, Jimmy Wrigley. Do you know who Jimmy Wrigley is?
Yeah, I know Jim.
He's going to come up and do headshots for us. And do the show.
Jim's stuff is amazing.
He's one of the best. In fact, I mean, to have him do it for us, like, I say it like it's so big. Yeah, man, Jim Wrigley's going to do my headshots. I feel like a douche saying it, but like, have you ever seen his work?
Dude, I mean, I see his stuff, the stuff he posts all the time on Facebook, and it all blows me away.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we're going to have him do some shots for us, and he's going to sit down. I mean, dude, he's been doing band lighting and Child's Play. Like, by the way, Child's Play, Saturday at M3.
How'd they sound?
Okay. I'm going to say something now, and people will look at me like I have 30 heads. Brian Jack was an amazing front man and singer, and we lost him early. We lost him way too early. John Allen, who's the best drummer, rock drummer. I mean, that guy's my favorite drummer. I'd watch him play all day, all night. When that happened, he came, when they did the reunion shows, he came out from behind the drums and sang because he started doing his, own bands and stuff, and he came out front. Well, Saturday, he's fronting Child's Play, and doing all those Brian songs, and he was magnificent. And trust me, I know John knows the weight that goes with singing for Brian. It's a heavy burden. John, you crushed it. Nikki Kay, Jason Heiser, Phil Weiser, the original bass player.
I mean, just an incredible lineup, right?
Who's now, by the way, Phil Weiser is I believe I'm saying this properly, and Phil, if I'm wrong, I'm apologizing. He is the technical CTO or whatever for Paramount.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil has had an amazing career in his world. And he is a wonderful. And
still able to rock Merriweather on a
he's
weekend.
One of my favorite human beings. He's from Essex.
Yeah.
I told him he's got some like nice houses. I said, dude, listen, you got to live a dream for me. And he's laughing. He's like, what's that? I go, you got to take one of these mansions, and it's got to have a huge opening gate that just says Essex Manor as you drive up. And we were laughing so hard. We were talking Saturday.
I thought you were going to say a Mickey Talks mansion.
No. But Phil's incredible guy, great wife, Amy. And then I saw John's wife, Erin, and of course, Nikki. and Jason. It was just an amazing day. But dude, David Lee Roth.
Let's talk about him during Matt's music.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Great guests coming up, including in the Monday the 12th, the queen of rock and roll herself, Sarah Fleischer.
Wow,
coming on the show.
Love it.
I met Sarah when I was 13 years old. I've told the story many times.
Is that right?
I'll tell her again when she's in here.
Yeah.
Dean Crawford. You know Dean?
Yeah. I know Dean.
Dean's going to come up and do the show. Jimmy Haha is on the 20th. So great guests coming. I'm so
got
excited.
Howie from Ballyhoo coming up.
Howie from Ballyhoo.
Yeah,
absolutely. Just so pumped about everything going on with the show. One thing we still need is some sponsors and some money. You know, we're trying to build this from nothing. You guys been with us the whole way. So if you would like to donate, you can do that through Venmo right now. We put that up on the screen if you're watching. And also, if you would like to be a sponsor, please email Mickey Talks Pod, MICKEYTALKSPOD @gmail.com. Always looking. We can always figure something out. There's a lot of guys right now the show's about to get really interesting once we figure all this out. But everybody, thank you. All right, Matt, let's get into the show. I had a great time this weekend at M3. I went Saturday. Then yesterday, I went down to Lunacy during the day and saw Sons of Pirates.
Oh, cool.
Have you ever seen them?
Never seen them, no.
So do you like that stuff?
I know some of the guys in the group, but I've never seen
Jeff
them play.
Mullen, the drummer?
Yeah.
Jeff's one of my favorite human beings. When I was a kid, he worked at Gordon Miller Music and treated me like an absolute rock star when I knew nothing. He taught me how to tune drum, like just a great guy. Saw him and the guys in the band. They were phenomenal. Went down with Shannon and Stan, and my friend Stan's a huge Jimmy Buffett fan. So, you know, he's like a parrot head Buffett.
Right.
I mean, Stan would do the bus trips. He would do the big cookouts before, and they all go down. And like, I never understood
That's
Buffett
kind of a
thing.
Grateful Dead-ish type thing,
Very
right?
much so. But here's the thing I want to say. And I realized this, and a lot of my friends may laugh at me. I never realized what an absolutely incredible songwriter Jimmy Buffett really was. Like, that dude, I just thought he was some kind of cheesy, wasted again in Margaritaville, right? Fun song, whatever. And everybody loved it. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, like all that stuff.
Yep.
Fun, good
Cheeseburger
drinking.
in Paradise.
Yeah, it's fun drinking, smoking weed, just hanging out. It's great music in the background. But then you go a little deeper with that dude. Wow. So I gained a lot of respect for Jimmy Buffett in the last 2 years since I met Stan.
I haven't gone super deep with him,
dude,
but he writes some good catchy stuff.
No,
for sure.
Get out of the hits and get into like some of his dark, like not
really
dark. Dude, that guy was a little bit of an outlaw, man. And people don't realize it. Like, that dude's an interesting cat, man.
Yeah.
Watch a documentary on him.
He'll be on our show one day.
Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah,
when we're doing it from heaven. So, but like I said, my friend Stan's a huge fan, so I went and saw them. And then afterwards went up to Natalie's to see Crushing Day last set and hung out there for a while.
The outdoor stage?
Yeah, it was. By the way, I went to Natalie's. I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, wow.
Because I was
you live there now.
Well, you know what it was?
You and the whole family.
You know what? Yeah, my boys went with me a couple nights. The thing was, I really wanted it to work for them.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, man, I'll come up and spend the money I don't have a little bit, and my boys went and we had fun. And I really believe, I mean, last night on a Sunday at 8:00, it's packed. The restaurant's packed.
Good for them. I'm so happy for them.
I am so happy. So I'm hoping that relationship continues.
Great place, great people, great food.
Everything. Yeah, I love it. I'm hoping that continues. I'm hoping we do it live every Friday.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I'd be pumped about that, dude. All right, Matt, what'd you do this weekend? Anything fun?
I spent $500 I don't have on an air conditioning unit this weekend. It was a blast.
For the house?
Yeah.
Like your outside air went up?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
Had to buy some capacitors.
Great timing.
Yeah, great timing.
Yeah,
awesome timing.
Yeah. When do I have the least amount of money? No, nothing to get me through. And I need the biggest problem I've had in my house.
Had to hang out all weekend while that was repaired. So that was fun.
Real quick, I'm trying to, for those of you watching on Facebook Live, let me just say this to you. What I'm trying to say is that we are broadcasting it differently today. We're back to doing it through what do we do it through?
Through our streaming software.
Through our streaming software. So we're doing it all at once to Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. So I don't know how it looks on Facebook. That's how we started. Hope you guys are still with us. Hope you're enjoying it. And Matt, you know what I want to do? Let's get right into the music minute, man. Let's just have some fun.
Let's do that.
All right, buddy.
All right. So I don't know if you heard, but Lady Gaga performed over the weekend, and Brazilian police arrested 2 suspects in a planned bomb attack. She played for 2.5 million people at Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro on Saturday, which breaks Madonna's record at the same beach last year. They arrested 2 individuals, an adult male and also a teenager, for allegedly plotting an attack on Lady Gaga's free concert. They were reportedly fans of the singer, is what they're saying.
And what did they want to do?
They plan to use improvised explosives, including
to kill people.
Yeah, including Molotov cocktails.
They're fans.
They're fans, is what they say.
Yeah, they're fans. Yeah. Okay, where are they from again?
Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
Yeah. By the way, Brazil right now. I just want to say something to the Brazilian people. Your culture is incredible.
For sure.
Your people are beautiful. You are an envy of the world in a lot of ways. What's going on down there? It's getting a little goofy in Brazil.
It's always a little sketch in Brazil.
Yeah,
though, isn't it?
A little, but Rio used to be okay. It was like it was a beautiful city. And was it Carnival that's in Brazil?
Yeah.
I mean, people from all over the world would travel. And I just find it, I don't know what's wrong. And I love every Brazilian I've ever met has been an absolutely fantastic human being.
Same, and I love that they brought us Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which, imagine the UFC without Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, it would be Hammerjacks on a Tuesday night with a video camera. Just a bunch of dudes just beating the crap out of each other.
That's true.
Until somebody fell over.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be like early UFC.
Yeah.
Remember when none of the guys, like you had the Gracie family, and then if anybody else fought, it was 2 fat slobs that just beat the crap out of
punching
each other.
the teeth out of somebody's head, right? Remember that? A tooth flying in that first match?
Jesus.
Ooh.
I will say this about UFC. As a guy that, fought out of necessity in my life, never looked for one, never had any desire to have one.
Yeah.
So I only fought if I got hit or I had to. You know what I mean? But those guys, that's a warrior mentality. When you're looking at another guy at a press conference and you go, can't wait to fight you. It's like, what? I'd be looking going, can't we just postpone it? Like, why don't we have a card game? Figure out who's funny.
And just elite athletes. I mean, you're fighting guys that are in just incredible shape, incredible cardio, and just the skill they've developed.
I never understood the difference really until I saw this. I was in Philadelphia for a wedding, and there were 2 UFC guys. Now, they weren't real big, right? They were in the lobby, but and they both had on, like, I don't know what you call it, like team embroidery. Yeah, but it didn't say UFC. It was like whatever gym or what. I don't know how that stuff works. They're both standing there, and these 4 drunk, they weren't drunk like, they were just messed up a little bit. Come in the bar, and the one guy was like 6'3", one of the assholes. And he's like, what are you guys, fighters? And they both turn around. I'm like 12 feet from him, and I hear it, and I turn, and the guy looks, he goes, yeah, we fight. And he goes, we guys fight, kids? Because they were probably 160.
Oh, my God.
180, welterweights, whatever that is. I don't know. And these guys are big guys, and the one turned around and went, I'll fight anybody. And he goes, you won't fight us? And the guy turned around and goes, yeah, we will. And I was like, oh, my God. And then it got mouthy. And the little guy goes, all you got to do is just, if you put a finger on me, I can show you. And the guy does this to him. And it was 2 punches before the guy hand even came off his chest. He was going down.
Right.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And then another guy stepped forward and the other guy hit him. And then the other 2 just put their arms up. And I remember I stood there like completely silent.
Yeah.
And the one guy looked at me, the guy that threw the first punch, and he went, "You saw him put his hands on me, right?" And in my head, I was like, well, technically I didn't because his body was blocking me.
My
but
God.
And I went, yeah, because I'm like, I'm not going to tell this guy no.
Most of those guys don't want any of that.
Never.
The athletes, they want to avoid all that because
All
they probably get that all the time.
Why?
And
Why?
Because
Why would you get that? If you're a world-class fighter and the other guy knows it, is it the other guy just challenging himself?
Because he's, first of all, the guy was probably bigger than him.
Way bigger.
Right?
I mean, the guy was 6'2".
The guy's
6'3".
probably been in bar brawls and thinks, oh, I do okay in bar brawls.
Yeah.
Having no idea, of this guy's cardio.
Yep.
You know, their cardio, I mean, they could probably just run circles around those guys in the bar for 30 seconds and tire them out.
It's amazing.
But then you talk about just the incredible skill
Dude,
that they have, just that the average street guy doesn't have.
It's, to me, like, when I think about UFC, like John Rollo, even local, I got to, by the way.
We got to have John on for
John
sure.
and I have been playing phone tag. I'm going to get him up. Yeah, this month, I'm hoping.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. But anyway, you know, a guy like John, when you hang out with John, you sit at a table with him, he's like the nicest, funniest, coolest guy. But he's one of those guys that you just know if something pops off, get behind him.
Yeah.
Like, don't ever get in front of a guy like that.
No, I mean, not only does John have the skill, I mean, he's got the size too.
He's a monster of a man. Yeah. And he's incredible. Like, and John's older.
Yeah.
John's an older man now.
Right.
You know, it's crazy how insane those guys are. I remember when CM Punk from wrestling came into the studio before he went into UFC. And, you know, he talked about, you know, he'd fight anybody, blah, blah, blah. And I remember John Rollo told me afterwards, he goes, "That guy's going to get killed if he goes in the UFC." And sure enough, I mean, I loved CM Punk. I did as a character on wrestling. But Jesus, you don't mess with those guys.
Most people don't realize how much skill those guys actually have and how much, I mean, those guys train every day, all day.
Put it this way. If you have a job, like say it's to count things, you go into work at 9 a.m. and you count things. Their job is to beat people up. Yeah. They go into work every day, and while you're counting beans, they're exercising, they're fighting,
and to avoid having you touch them in any way.
Yes. You know? Yeah. They're just incredible. You're right, Matt. It's incredible athleticism. Mm-hmm. What else we got, buddy?
So lots of bands getting movies now. We talked about Weezer the other day. Now Green Day is going to go from album to musical to possibly a movie now. Billy Joe Armstrong says a movie based on Green Day's 2004 album American Idiot is still a possibility. So he had a very successful run as a musical on Broadway and London's West End, and there was talk of turning it into a movie with actor Tom Hanks reportedly showing interest in producing. In 2013, playwright Roland Jones said he was finishing up the script, with Armstrong adding in 2016 that HBO gave it the green light and that he would reprise his role as St. Jimmy. But in 2020, he said it's been pretty much scrapped. I think we're back on now, is what he's saying. While we wait to see if this ever pans out, Green Day are producers on a new film inspired in part by them. So we may see this sometime soon.
You know where I'm at with Green Day, right? I love them.
You love that album, too,
I love that album. I'm a huge fan. But, like, I get that it may have jumped the shark.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I put them in the Kiss category. They're the Kiss of punk rock. And I'm all right with it. Like, I really am. Excuse me. Had the Sex Pistols survived some weird way, they would have eventually been either adored by billions.
I don't know, man. Do you think?
Yeah, I don't think Johnny would have, but I think he would have been replaced. And that band, I mean, they're still doing it now. They got a new singer.
He wrote a letter and said, "I don't want your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame," essentially.
Yeah, he told him to F off.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Rotten's the real deal. I mean, but I mean, he literally, do you know that you know, the Sex Pistols have a new singer.
Yeah, that guy is actually the real deal too. But unfortunately, you know,
he's not going to. He's no Johnny Rotten.
Right, I want to see him with Johnny Rotten.
Right, and we all do, and we did. I saw him. I went in the '90s when they reunited and Goldfinger opened, and it was an incredible show.
Yeah, I remember.
And did you go? Did you see him?
I didn't go. No.
Yeah, it was an amazing. I mean, I couldn't wait. It was weird seeing him with 10,000 people. You know, you wanted to see him with 300 in some little dingy bar, but It was awesome. Every song I knew, every word. But to me, I loved Green Day. I'm unapologetically a Green Day fan, but I kind of, would I sell out like that at this point in my life? Yeah. Starbucks wants to give me $10 million and have the Mickey Frost shake.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Actually,
I don't either. But I
but
think a lot of the punk rock,
yeah, they definitely do.
Yeah, and they're idiots because what's the point of trying to do what you do if you can't benefit from it? That's a nihilist attitude, and I'm not a nihilist. Like I'm not going to have sponsors that tell me what to say.
Yeah.
But if they say, "Hey man, could we do, a picture of you with our thing?" Yeah, if you think that's going to sell a drink.
And as long as you can still be you, right?
Yeah, I can be me. Yeah. I'm going to occasionally cuss on this show. I'm going to, I'm going to hit my vape sometimes. Whatever.
Yeah.
I can, so I'm not going to, I don't see the Catholic Archdiocese of Baltimore being a sponsor. But at the same time,
who knows? The new pope might want to.
Yeah, whoever they elect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they'd have to elect somebody really stupid to make us an official. What else we got, buddy?
So I know you saw M3 over the weekend.
Yeah.
David Lee Roth played his first full show in 5 years. Saturday night, and his band played M3 Rock Festival at Merriweather Post Pavilion in Columbia, Maryland, and it was straight up a celebration of Van Halen. There were no solo Diamond Dave tunes in there at all. And he went up there with a 5-man backup singer band.
I'm going to tell you right now. Did I see it? So sound check happens during the day before I get there, right? And then, so I get there, and when I get there, I run into my very old friend, dear friend. In fact, he'll be on the show, Dave Cash.
Yeah.
You remember Dave?
I don't know if I met Dave.
His father was Jonas Cash. He was one of, if not he was the biggest record promoter in Baltimore, Washington.
Okay.
Going back to the 60s.
Yeah.
Fascinating story. Dave's an incredible guy. So many awesome stories. Not only his father, but Dave as well. Anyway, ran into him. So we watched Child's Play together. And then we all went up to the Child's Play deck afterwards and we hung out most of the day. And in fact, I was up there most of the day talking with people and stuff. But saw Winger.
Did you?
They were phenomenal.
Oh, Kip's amazing.
But he had Rod Morgenstein still on drums.
Yeah.
I mean, for those drummers that know, it was incredible.
Yeah.
He
gets a hard time. But he's a beast, man.
Kip Winger is an insane musician.
Yeah.
The guy played with Zappa. Enough said.
For sure.
I'm not going to, if you don't know what that means, you don't deserve to be in the conversation. Yeah. However, Steven Adler's Guns N' Roses. Can I just say something about it? It's the third best Guns N' Roses tribute I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Third best.
Third best. Axl with Buckethead was number one.
Right.
And then Guns N' Roses doing, what were they called when they had, what's his name? It was really Slash and the guy from Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, you mean
what was that?
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Oh my God.
With them, right?
I can't believe I'm blanking on
Me
it.
too. You're the one that's supposed to know this crap.
I know.
Music guy. Snake. No.
Well,
oh my God.
Slash a snake pit, but that wasn't it.
What was the name of that band? Look that up. I feel like an idiot right now. Scott Weiland, Duff McKagan,
right.
Slash. Who played drums in that? What's his name? Matt Sorum played drums in that?
Yeah.
So it was Guns N' Roses with him singing.
Oh my God, it's killing me.
What is the name of that band? All right, I got to do the Google search.
It's taking forever.
Do the Google search live on air. I hate to do it. Let's see. Sorry, everybody. And I know I'm looking in the chat room and I can't see it right now.
This is ridiculous.
What was the band with Scott Weiland and Slash?
I'm embarrassed. We should wrap up the entire show.
I know we should quit right now. It's ridiculous. Velvet Revolver.
Oh my God, yes.
Jesus. Revolver. By the way, I'm going to say something to you, Matt, and to me for the listeners.
Yeah.
You're a dick. I'm a dick.
Let's punch each other in the face.
Sorry right now, for wasting everybody.
Do you want to punch me in the face and then I'll punch you in the face?
Deal, man. Anyway, so that's the second best Velvet Revolver was the second best Guns N' Roses tribute. And then Steven Adler's was the third.
Yeah.
But the guy that sings for them, for Steven Adler's band, really good. And let me just say, that whole LA scene, which is what except for Winger, every band looks like. but Diamond Dave, dude, listen, how old is he? Do we know?
He's 72, I think.
72 years old, in phenomenal shape. Came out, obviously he's a little less mobile, right? But he gets done the first song or the second song. His band was so good, Matt.
Yeah.
It was.
He's 70. I'm sorry. He's 70.
It was perfect. His band, look at me. Perfect.
Yeah.
Every note, every harmony. He had five black backup singers.
There's one white guy, wasn't it?
If he was, I guess the lights were too bright.
Yeah.
I didn't see him. But yes, they were insane. But Diamond Dave, you cannot stop watching him.
No, he's great.
He's the greatest front man. Mick Jagger maybe is better. But other than that, him, Steve Whiteman, and David Lee Roth.
And listen to this set list, man. Panama, Drop Dead Legs, You Really Got Me, Unchained, Dance the Night Away, Running with the Devil, Mean Street, Atomic Punk, and The Cradle Will Rock, Jamie's Crying, I'm the One, Everybody Wants Some, Romeo Delight, Hot for Teacher, Ain't Talking About Love, and Jump. I mean, it
was a phenomenal set.
Wow.
I did a video as I was walking out. I didn't want to sit in traffic. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I had been there since freaking 2:00.
Right.
So I was kind of done. So as I was leaving, I did a video that I just was saying, how great the day was, blah, blah, blah. And I could just hear the songs as I'm walking to my car. And it was so M3 was awesome. I wanted to go yesterday, but I had plans, with other people. But I would have loved to have seen who headlined yesterday.
Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think that should be Child's Play now that Kix is gone. They should do that Friday night kickoff. I think the
promoter doesn't understand the real love of Child's Play.
Yeah.
Even
if they were to go on right before, say, a
Child's Play is not a 2 PM band in Baltimore.
No.
They're honored to even be considered. They're so humble about it.
Yeah.
But it was cool watching the other bands, watching them.
Yeah.
Like I saw dudes on the side of the stage watching them, which was cool. Like guys in the Steven Adler band and stuff. They were sitting there like jamming.
That's awesome.
Yeah, when you see those cats and I think John gets a lot of credibility from those guys because of his other projects that he's been in. And what he's done as a musician, from drummer to singer to songwriter. He's really a super guy. John will be right back on the show, by the way.
Yeah,
a lot of positive
that. That's
feedback.
great. It would be good to have him back.
Yeah, man. What else is going on, buddy?
Well, that's it for Matt's Music Minute.
Matt's Music Minute.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt. Looking for a sponsor for this, by the way, and I think we have one. Working out details, but really.
Yeah, we have one pretty much locked in for that, don't we?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay. I just
wait till not till the ink's dry, I guess.
I've learned in my lifetime, Matt, that and I'm guilty of this too. You say yes to things and then something happens and you can't.
Yeah.
So until and if it doesn't work, I totally get it. But yeah, that's what I am hoping. Hey, I wanted to ask you a question. So I was hanging out with my boys on Thursday night or Friday night. I forget which one it was. Friday night, actually. And the guy came up to me while we're all sitting there, and he said, he asked me, he said, hey, does Matt Davis remember? I got to remember this. It was a fire hall in Essex, and you were emceeing it, and a huge, massive brawl knocked over the sound system. Do you remember anything about this?
Wow, I don't know.
This guy told me this story, and he's like, I don't know if Matt was still there, man, or what.
I don't know how I would not remember that. But.
So apparently, it was a metal show, like one of those metal, 8 bands, that kind of thing. And he didn't remember who the last band was, but during their set, the mosh pit got crazy, and then like 4 dudes started fighting, and then the whole mosh pit started fighting, and then people started rushing the pit, and then it got onto the stage, and the band got in it, and then the PA got knocked over, and it was like the greatest barroom story I ever heard.
I must have been gone before
you're
that,
like
thankfully,
me.
Man.
When they put the money in your hands, all right, everybody, have a great night. Love you guys. You know what I mean?
Not sticking around for the brawl.
Yeah,
but, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope I've entertained you. Be safe driving, everyone. You don't remember that one though, huh?
I should remember it if I was there. So I guess I'd left beforehand.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, I talked to Don Wayner. You know Don, the big promoter in town. You know, he does stuff at the arena, and he's one of the biggest promoters.
Yep.
Because we want to have Dr. Hawass. So he told me
I would love that. That's a bucket list for me.
And me too, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get that one, that's the odds of us getting this are 1 in 10 million, by the way.
Of course, but
I don't see him doing
closer is if we got a benefactor
to get us tickets.
Yeah. Well, not just tickets, but he's got the meet and greet package.
The meet and greet. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
could ambush him.
What I would do is take a camera.
Yeah.
Anywhere, a hotel room, if he would just let us interview him for his show.
Right.
You know, and make it convenient as hell.
Sure.
You know, I don't know. He seems like a nice man when you watch him on TV.
He does.
So, yeah, he really does. And I mean, that subject for me and you both.
And for people that don't know, Dr. Hawass, I mean, anything you ever see about Egypt.
Anything on the History Channel.
He seems to be anyway.
He's the Egyptian guy on the History Channel.
Yeah.
I'll just say it that way.
Yep.
If you've ever seen anything about the pyramids, he's the one.
Yeah.
He's the guy talking.
Yeah, that guy knows some stuff.
He knows everything.
I'm saying some stuff that isn't probably
of course.
common knowledge at this point.
Oh, of course he does, man. Of course. I mean, I'm sure there's been discoveries of things that they're like, whoa. You know, I think there's treasures they found that they don't want anyone to know. I guarantee you one of them pharaohs had an entirely gold casket, just all gold, weighed 8 million pounds, whatever. They found it and they're like, we can't tell anybody we got this. Somebody's going to steal it.
Well, now it's got to be, like ancient technology that we don't know about yet. I wonder what they know.
You think, we talk about the pyramids a lot on here, but let's get off of this. But Dr. Hawass, if we could get him, that's a huge, huge moment for me.
Yeah, for me too.
Yeah, I would love that. I would, man.
Yeah.
Did you do anything with the kids or anything this weekend? With the kid?
No, I was stuck at the house.
Oh, right, because you had the air conditioning.
My wife took the girl out this weekend.
Would they do anything?
They went out and they did like thrift shopping. And
aren't you glad they don't make you go to that crap? You're such a nice wife. Doesn't make you do that. Oh God. Is there anything worse?
They don't want me there. Anyway.
I like when they walk by and they go, "How do you think this would look in the bathroom?" It would look like that in the bathroom. Like, what are you asking me? No, I don't listen.
My wife does a great job with all those things. I would mess all. She doesn't even ask me anymore.
But see, that's the thing I don't understand about women. They don't really want us to make any decisions. Yeah. They just want to run their ideas by us.
I go, yeah, it looks good.
And then if they go, this is the part I don't get. They'll say, I'll give you an example. Hey, where do you think I look in this outfit? I'll say, you look incredible. And then they go, but not this shirt. And I go, I think you look great in that shirt. You really do? All right, this is the third time. You look awesome. Okay, what about the shoes? I just go like this. I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. And I think, now, does your wife do that to you with the, outfit stuff? Is she?
Nah, I don't think she trusts me at all with the outfits opinions, man.
And then the worst part is when they have an outfit on that's not flattering and they ask you, I've learned to just be honest. Yeah. Really. I'll go, hey, you don't look great in that. Or that doesn't really look that good together.
She'll ask my daughter. My daughter will be a straight shooter.
Yeah, I'm trying to be, it's weird.
You don't know if you want to be a straight shooter though, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, because here's why. I think when it comes to the outfits and stuff, if you love the person, truly love them, right? You don't want them to be embarrassed or look foolish.
Yeah, but
or unattractive.
Your lady, my lady, they both have pretty good sense of style.
I'm kind of talking about women in general.
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
To answer your question, yes. I do help with Shannon sometimes, with outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
But what I will say is this. I've been with a couple women in my life in relationships, and the women, it seems to be a pattern that I just don't guys get dressed and then we leave.
Yep.
That's what we do. We get dressed and we say, okay, we're ready. And then unless we're told to go change, we don't question it.
Right. Well, I know I look fat in that.
Right.
So,
I know I look fat and short and everything. Now I've never said flat out. I have said it's not flattering on you around this area.
Yeah. That's it. That's brave.
Well, she's asking, and not her. It's not Shannon.
Yeah.
Other women. It's like you just
Your butt does look big in that.
Yeah. Does my ass look big in this? It does. I've done this whole thing on stage before. That's really what I'm doing right now. And the bottom line is this: women say all the time they just want a man to be honest. Until you're honest,
right?
And then you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what am I doing? Okay, so I just lie. I get it.
Pass this knowledge down to the young gentlemen in the world. Nick.
So I want to do a show.
Yeah.
Not on this. I want to do a separate podcast.
Yeah.
And basically, it's about how to deal with women who don't make sense. And it's a lot of them. And I feel like women sometimes think I'm attacking, and it's not the case. It's more guys. We are simpler creatures than women. Men are also, and I don't care what anyone says, we're more patient. We put up with more ridiculousness. Now you're confusing what I'm talking about. I'm not,
right.
We're assholes, right? We break shit. We get mad. We throw things. We don't care what we look like half the time. We'll wear anything. We'll eat anything. We're very, very caveman-esque. However, when it comes time for reason and logic, no matter how we look, we pretty much can follow reason and logic. And I think sometimes women, I'm getting in trouble right now, and I don't know how I'm going to talk my way out of this, but I do think that sometimes women overthink things so much that it causes issues. And the whole time, a lot of times men are just going, yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think guys are more logical and women are more just emotional.
Yeah, I'm an emotional guy, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying in our decisions and in our thought process,
I think
we're more logical.
And I think that comes
emotional.
with the hunter-gathering thing and the nurturer-provider that women seem to think isn't a real thing with them, which is men go out and we build stuff and we gather stuff and we bring things home for you to take care of the children. And I'm going back to our beginnings, obviously. So I think men had to think logically. Well, I can't just walk down there and grab one of those elephants and eat it because the other 90 will kill me.
Yeah, you get stomped to death.
Whatever it is, right? So over time, the man brain said, we got to figure things out. How do we do this? And I think women were at that time taking care of children and each other and the village or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And they just had this sort of brain that developed into making sure everything was okay. Everyone was all right. Are the men happy? Are they going to bring us food tomorrow? Are the children safe? Are they healthy? And it's like that's a lot of thinking, and it's for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's in our DNA at this point.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
And then they'll go, oh, well, men are so... That's who we are. You're yelling at us for our evolutionary, what's the word I'm looking for at the end there? The development over time, where we've ended up. It's just who we are. I love you, women. I do. I don't want to be with men. I want to be with women. I love women. I just sometimes go, I don't get you. And I think it's a fair thing to talk about. I don't understand.
It is. Well, I think most men and women would agree with you.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think most women, when they hear me talk, they think I'm a caveman because they think I'm saying.
I think they think most of us are cavemen, though.
Yes, and and we are to some extent, but that's the best you got to work with, ladies.
Yeah.
We'll do anything for you for the most part.
Sure.
Anything, right? It's just every now and then, a guy just needs some, quiet. Can we get some quiet time? You know what I'm saying? And this isn't your wife. This is just me talking about other men I know and their wives. I hear men talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's like, can we 20 minutes, I'd like to not hear anything but what silence sounds like. And peace is the word. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Don't you enjoy peace?
Yeah, of course.
And the other problem, and I think it's real. Women do worry men worry about a primal attack, right? Men sit there and go, all right, my house is safe. My kids are safe. My wife or my girlfriend is safe. We're locked in our home. All right, I can turn my brain off now and can turn it right back on if someone invades me.
Right.
And I think women have that same thought where they want to make sure everyone's safe and protected. But then they also do this stuff, which men don't do. I should really, really do this in the kitchen, or I should make sure that this in the house is like this. And it's like, okay, can you just make me a list of the things you want me to do and I'll accomplish them? But it's the weird dynamic that I think men and women tried to live in that makes relationships hard. It's really simple to love someone. And it's basically you help them when they need help and they help you when you need help.
That's good philosophy, yeah.
And in the middle, you have to recognize that sometimes the other person just needs to go, I don't feel like doing that right now. Whatever's happened in my life every day and the life we have and the kids and the jobs and the pressures and the money and the bills and the everything that goes on. Tonight I would like to watch Murder, She Wrote and for 2 hours and go to sleep.
Right.
And I get it. And it's a hard thing to coordinate those kind of times together because other people have things that they're stressed and worried about, and they're not necessarily stressful or worrisome for you. So you get in this void where you're just like, I don't know what to do.
This is the struggle of the relationship. And what makes it rewarding in the end, if you can keep it all together, right?
Yeah, I do. And women that are watching this that think I'm, poo-pooing you in any way, let me say a couple things about women. Nicely, like that I believe in my core.
Yeah.
I think women, when they are rational and not, if they're not upset, and this is men the same way, but women especially, are a lot of times they do understand the long play, like, here's the right way to do this stuff. Women are very good, I think, at saying, look, first do this, then this goes, then we'll get to here, then we'll get to there. Men are very, all right, but right now I got to fix that door. And if that means I got to rip the living room apart to do it, I'm going to do it. Right. And we're just stupid. We're dumb. We go in, the hammers swinging, drills flying. The couches had to be moved out because we didn't have enough tooth. You know what I mean? And I think women can just have a tendency to go, all right, have you thought about doing it this way? But what happens is they let us start and we get aggravated. Then we don't want to hear anything. So it's a really weird dynamic of, if it's two men, the man will stop the other man. Dude, you're not doing that. But for some reason, because we're cavemen, when a woman tells us something to do better in a man's way, we're not listening to that.
You think it's too much ego in the way?
Oh my God, men are the most egotistical things when it comes to women.
Right.
But here's what causes it, I think. Women are not very good at saying, hey, have you thought about it this way? They question you, which feels like an interrogation. Why did you do it that way? Well, because when I started, I didn't think of it. I could have done it that way. But why would you do that? Well, I made a mistake. Yeah, that was dumb. Here's how you should have done it. Yeah, then you're like, yeah, guess what? That's when I'll throw the living room outside because now you're pissing me off. I made a mistake, and now I'm being judged for something that I was trying to do nice, and I just didn't do it right. So it's, you know what I mean, Matt?
Yeah, no, yeah. It's, that is the struggle.
Yeah,
right?
And at the end of the day, men know they're wrong 50, 60% of the time. No, I mean, it's a pretty fair balance most of the time. Men know it. And I think women do have a harder time saying I'm sorry than men. And I think that's partly a physical thing where women, it's like a thing. It's like power with men because they're not physically as strong. So they can mentally say, well, I'm not apologizing for how I felt. And I get it. You can't walk over and physically intimidate us, whatever. So I get it, but it's just an easier way, I think. I think there's an easier way in life to get along with people.
Yeah, what do you think that is?
Honestly, do you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
The best relationships I've ever met say this. The other person is there to bring you peace. And if they don't bring you peace at all, you're not with the right person. Now, you can tell someone, hey, I want to be with you. I love you. I think you're amazing. Here are a couple things that bother me for whatever. I'm not saying they're wrong. They get to me. I don't like this, this, and this. And it can work both ways. A woman can say to a man, I don't like that you do this. Then a man has two choices. He can say, well, I'm going to find me a woman that likes it, or I'm going to make changes to who I am.
Well, it's all about compromise, right?
Bingo, Matt.
Yeah.
That was the word I've been thinking of for 3 minutes.
For sure.
And I think compromise is everything. And I think a lot of times you fall in love with something or a couple things about a person, and then you learn the other things about them. And then most relationships are a balancing act, trying to see the good in them more than the things that bother you. And the truth is, something bothers everyone about everyone.
Of course.
So when you can acknowledge, there's certain things I think that can be acknowledged and can be worked through. Like if you have a certain way of making your coffee in the morning, and for whatever reason, it drives the other, I'm using dumb examples, but it drives the other person crazy. Why not go to them and say, hey, you know, when you do this and you use 3 glasses to make 1 cup of coffee, why does that, this is a bad example. Let me do it this way.
How about when I floss my teeth in the living room and
so you're
drives
wrong.
the wife nuts?
But you're wrong for that.
Of course I am.
Yeah, you're wrong. But do you ever just get up and go, I know, I'm sorry, let me go in the bathroom? I mean, that's the compromise, Matt.
I should do that.
Do it.
I will do it.
All right, you know what you do tonight? You go home and you say to Liz, right? You go, listen, I've been thinking, and I talked to Dr. Mickey today, and he told me I was wrong and that I should be flossing my teeth in the bathroom. Now, listen, that's why I don't floss my teeth, Matt. So I never get yelled at. But you're right. I mean, men are dumb, too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where men are horrible. Like laundry stuff. Will you grab a shirt off a floor and wear it? Be honest. If you got to run to Walmart, you'll do it, right?
Sure,
Throw a T-shirt
sure.
on. Run. It's, that's how we are. I don't think about clothes.
I'll keep a shirt around that is completely ruined because it's incredibly comfortable.
Oh, my God.
And she hates it.
Well, look at this. I don't know. I'm so short you can't really see. But I want to explain something in this outfit. See these shorts, Matt?
Yeah.
They were on the top of my shorts pile.
Right.
See this shirt, Matt? It was on the top of my shirt stack. That's why this outfit is being worn today.
Of course.
It was the 2 top things.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
very little thought goes into it.
very little.
Yeah.
Now, if I have a show or I'm going out, I'll think, all right, I'm going to put some jeans on and a shirt that matches and some shoes that are decent. Like but if I'm running to Home Depot, I don't give a rat's ass what I'm wearing.
No, me neither, of course.
And Walmart, I try to dress nicer so I stand out because there's about 3 people there that aren't dressed like they work a carnival on the off days.
In pajamas, right?
Yeah. Oh, my God. I saw a girl the other night with one of them. What is that shirt called? A halter top? Is that what they called them?
Like a half shirt kind of thing?
The girl, I'm not making this up. She weighed 275.
Yeah.
She was big as that, 6'1".
So it wasn't
Huge.
a halter top. It was just a
No.
It was small.
No, it just had her boobs. And then it was a shirt like a half shirt.
Yeah.
And then this huge, disgusting, pasty, white, pinky gut. And these little tight gym shorts.
See, so you guys have the same philosophy then.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. I don't walk around with my gut hanging out and my no ass. I had no ass, by the way. I had the smallest man ass on planet Earth. Shannon will be behind me and send me pictures of my ass.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there. It just looks like 2 droopy pockets.
We got to start doing some squats, Mick.
Well, listen, I've been thinking about getting back. I was exercising for a while, like around the first part of the year.
Yeah.
Even into February a little bit. I would hit a gym and I was wrong. It was before that. It was before I went crazy. I was starting to get back. And I want to get into it again.
Well, I need a workout partner, man. It's always better with a workout partner.
Well, here's the thing, Matt. I don't know if you want to go to the gym with me. And here's why. I do like 3 things, and that's it. I ride the bike, and then I get on that water table, right? You know that massage table?
Yeah, you were telling me about the water table.
Yeah, dude, it's what I do, bro.
We're going to go there and we're going to lift weights.
No, we're not.
Why not?
Because they're heavy.
They are heavy. Pick it up, put it down.
I'm 56, dude. I'm done picking shit
you
up.
You have to at this point, man.
I know,
As you get older, you need to
you know
do
what
weight
sucks?
training.
The other day,
Yeah.
I saw in my arm like some old man arm.
Right.
And I was like
a wing?
It wasn't that bad, but I was like, uh-oh, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
And that's what did it for me. But trust me, I'm never getting jacked. I'm not that guy. I don't care if I have abs. I'm 5'3". I don't want to be really skinny because I'm already a tiny person.
Yeah.
So being even really skinny, you look like a child, and I don't want to look like a child. So now I just look like a fat child. But I do want to lose. I'd like to lose about 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Right now I'm around 175. I'd like to get down to about 160. I might even be about 175.
Well, man, most of that is going to come with your diet. You got to change the diet.
Dude, I disagree with you. And I've lost, by the way. I was 215 at my heaviest.
Okay, what are you now? Just
175, 180. I'm right in that 170s area.
Yeah.
High 170s. However, I just started eating less. Like I eat and then I stop and I wait.
That's what I meant.
I eat less. I take a break.
Yeah.
And then I wait 5 minutes or 3 minutes and I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Well, you're right. That's most people's problem. They don't wait to feel that.
It's not what they eat.
It's
how much they eat.
How much. It's portion size.
When you go to a restaurant and it's embarrassing. But a lot of times I will split an entree because it's just pathetic, all the food.
Oh, you go home with a full meal.
Yeah. It's like, so now.
Or you don't and you end up 225 or whatever, right?
Yeah. I'm going to open up a restaurant and the restaurant's called For Two.
Yeah.
You both get the same meal. And you share it. And it's, a $50 dinner, $40 dinner. Somebody's going to take this idea because I'm never opening a restaurant again. in no way. Unless just a picture of me on the board.
I like the concept.
And they pay me $10,000 a month just to be.
Right.
I'm ready.
You're the face guy.
Yeah, the face guy.
Yeah.
The front of the house, back of the house?
Yeah.
I want to be out of the house. I want a bad position in a restaurant. I want the out of the house job.
Right.
Let's get into That's the Facts, Matt, brought to us by BarnesPaving.com. Give them a call. Give them a call, 443-243-3710. They have commercial paving, residential paving, driveways, patchwork, undercoating, anything you need. Barnes Paving can meet all your paving and asphalt needs. They deliver exceptional service, incredibly low prices. And right now, when you mention Mickey Talks, you get 10% off at Barnes Paving. Barnes Paving is MHIC licensed and insured and accredited with the Better Business Bureau. No job too big, too small. Barnes Paving, barnespaving.com.
All right, so
time to do That's the Facts, Matt. What do we got, buddy?
Yeah, so the Vatican's going to announce the next pope soon. And did you know they're going to do a kind of gender reveal party style?
No. What are they doing?
See, I didn't know this, but the next pope could be revealed this week. They're going to announce it kind of like a gender reveal party. Senior members of the Catholic Church will gather on Wednesday for a conclave to determine the next pope. There are 135 cardinal electors. And the deliberations happen in secret behind locked doors. A successor of Pope Francis will need a 2/3 majority. And the only way the world will know that a new pope has been chosen is through smoke signals.
White smoke, new pope. Black smoke.
You did know this.
I know conclave inside and out, brother.
Okay.
Also.
I'm Catholic. I should know.
I paid attention to religion in school, of all things. Anybody that really knows me knows how much I love historical history of the religion.
I do too, my friend. Yeah. But I was completely unaware of this. There's if black smoke comes out of the chimney, the cardinals aren't in agreement and will need to vote again.
You didn't know this?
No. And then once white smoke can be seen from the chimney, it signals to the public that the Roman Catholic Church has a new leader.
There's did you ever see which one is it? The Da Vinci Code or Angels and Demons?
I saw the Da Vinci Code.
Okay, Angels and Demons.
I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you.
The Da Vinci Code. I love the books. I love Dan Brown's work. I love the movies. I believe it's Angels and Demons where Ewan McGregor plays the Pope's guy, the guy that takes care of the Pope, and the Pope dies, and he becomes. People don't realize this. Basically, the caretaker of the Pope. He's his, I think, personal secretary. They call it. It's an Italian word. I don't know it offhand or Latin. What they actually call him. The moment the Pope dies, he runs the Holy See. He's the president.
Yeah, I think that guy
right
right now is one of the could be the successors people are thinking.
So they all can be. Well, sometimes if they're a cardinal. I don't know if that guy was a cardinal. I don't know.
Yeah, he was a cardinal.
Okay. So he can be. But I think the Catholic Church is in for a battle right now. I really do.
In what way?
Well, because I think that there's a part of the church that wants a stricter return to old dogma. And there's a branch of the church that realizes it has to grow and open its arms to people that in the past had shunned.
Well, look, you're in a tough spot when you are a religion who has rules and,
of course.
and things and that you're not supposed to change. I mean, because it's supposedly God's holy word. So what do? Do you change it for the times?
Yes.
Or, well,
yes. And I'll tell you why.
I agree with you. It's going to be
because there are things that they've developed over years that benefited the church, not Jesus. Okay. Jesus didn't give a rat's ass about a lot of things the church cares about. In fact, Jesus, if you know him, and I'm not getting religious, believe me, but Jesus was kind of a dude that was just like, hey, man, be a good person. We don't really care about much else.
Well, Jesus was a Jew. So.
Correct. Yeah, but I mean, he
wasn't Catholic.
No, but he is Catholic, though. His church,
well, right.
St. Peter, his apostle, the guy.
Yeah.
Upon you, I will build this church, Peter.
Sure.
Upon this rock. That church is the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
So this whole thing that this revisionist history of where Christianity started, that's where it started. Like, stop making crap up. But the church has changed over the years, and we all know why. It's had terrible scandals, and it better elect somebody that comes forward and says, listen, we have made horrible mistakes. We want to change the word of God, not change the word of God, the message that we've been sending for years. I think the church could survive. I think people are wanting faith again. I think there's
some reform. They need a lot of reform.
And that's where it's heading, I think.
Yeah.
You know, Matt, this isn't a very funny show today, but I like it.
It's an interesting show.
It's
just as good as funny.
Yeah, I think so, too. Good. I'm glad you're in agreement.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk about something funny.
So you know, do you remember the woman we talked about? I think it was last week. She passed away. She was the oldest living woman.
Yeah, 117.
Yeah, so there's a new person, of course. A 115-year-old woman is now the oldest person in the world, and she's giving her secret to her long existence.
Really?
Yeah. So, you know, whenever – by the way, not a title you want, oldest living person, right? It's kind of cursed.
Yeah.
Everybody dies, don't they?
Well, my grandmother is the oldest living graduate of Catholic high school.
Is that right? How old is she
High,
now?
97.
No kidding.
She graduated in 1943.
Wow, so your family goes way back with the curly Catholic high thing.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah.
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 Okay.
And I got kicked out, those bastards. What else we got?
Well, let me tell you, the 115-year-old lady says, you know, people always ask what the secret is to a long life to these older people.
Sure.
And for her, she says, never arguing with anyone, listening, and then doing whatever she wants.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
That's a great way to live.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, everybody gives these crazy, you know, people are like, I eat a stick of butter every day and drank whiskey.
Yeah, of course they do.
Is that really why you live that long?
Yeah. Was it the Jack Daniels and the butter toast?
Yeah.
Twice a day? Was it that? Yeah. I don't know, buddy. Anything else?
Yeah. So Target has now pulled their self-checkout during a shoplifting spike. So I know you like it. I'm not a big fan of it, but the retailer announced it's now limiting self-checkout to shoppers with 10 or less items. The company also said it's expanding its staff checkouts to improve efficiency. Target says pilot tests show the new policy improves speed and customer satisfaction at stores. I'm not a big fan of it, man. I don't like the self-checkout anyway, so I really don't care.
Yeah. I
don't work at Target.
I like the self-checkout.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Because you can steal things and they don't know it.
Well, that's exactly why they're changing it.
I'm kidding. Have you ever taken one item in the self-checkout
Never
line?
once, no.
I never.
What'd you have in your pants, man?
I didn't want in my pants, but I did one time. I had a case of water on the bottom of the cart, and I rang all my stuff up, and I walked out. I never rang the water up, and I got out to my car, and I realized it, and then I was like, screw it, I'm not going back in there for a case of water. I did do that.
Like and a $4 case of water.
I feel horrible. Yeah. I feel horrible.
Well, you can always take it back.
They're closed now. They had a problem with people stealing.
Right. You ran them out of business, man. You were the nail in the coffin.
My one case of water did it. That was the camel. Yeah.
That was the last
$4 to broke the camel's back. Yep.
So did you know that China is planning to build a nuclear plant on the moon?
I heard this, but I don't know much about it.
They're going to use it to power a base shared with Russia. So China planning to build a nuclear power plant on the moon to fuel a research station. It intends to open with Russia there. No Chinese astronaut has ever set foot on the moon, but within 10 years, China aims to have a permanent lunar base on its surface. And
my question is, who's driving the ship?
Who's what?
Is it a Chinese guy driving the ship?
Oh, I'm sure.
He might not make it.
They can't drive spaceships either, huh? In Russia, they have a natural advantage when it comes to nuclear power plants, especially sending them into space. It leads the world and ahead of the United States. But the USA has its own plans in motion. The only country to land people on the moon. The U.S. hasn't sent a mission there since 1972. Now we're going to send 2 astronauts on the moon surface in 2027 with a purpose base to follow later that year. So we're going to have our base up there as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, I just checked this out.
Yeah.
Do you know? Yes. Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake.
Yeah.
She's going to do the show.
She's contact you?
She's going to do the show.
Oh, that's great.
Former Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake will be doing the show. It looks like in May.
Sounds good.
We'll have
no date yet, huh?
A hard date towards the end of the month, it looks like.
All right.
So that's exciting.
Also exciting, a newly discovered 9th planet. Apparently this planet takes 10,000 years to orbit the sun, scientists are saying. Did you know that? They found a new planet?
In our solar system?
Yeah.
What? We have a 9th planet again?
Yeah.
Pluto's out.
Pluto was downgraded to a dwarf planet. That's
right.
what happened.
So now we got 10, or do we have 9 official planets?
Well, I think it sounds to me like they're still trying to officially confirm this.
So in our solar system, our sun has another planet.
Yeah, it's way out there.
Past Pluto?
In the Kuiper Belt. Yeah.
Oh, it's in
Pluto.
the Kuiper Belt.
Yeah. The Kuiper Belt, for people that don't know, is the place where like big icy chunks of rock. It's where comets come from.
Yeah.
Like Halley's Comet.
Yeah.
Comes from the Kuiper Belt.
Yeah. Isn't that the asteroid belt is the same thing basically between us and Mars?
The asteroid, that's different. That's
further
the
out.
Belt. No, that's closer to us. But the Kuiper Belt is way up where, where Pluto would be. Past Pluto.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when we get past that, we don't know anything, right?
Well, this is what they're saying. The possibility that an additional planet may be hidden far into the solar system was touted more than a century ago, but astronomers may have found new evidence that points to a celestial body that could be a possible candidate as Planet 9. They're saying the hidden candidate is likely the size of Neptune, which is big, because Neptune's one of the gas giants, and is so far away that it could take between 10,000 and 20,000 years to orbit the sun. And they, Pluto was downgraded. I think it was in 2006. There are currently several lines of observational evidence pointing to the existence of Planet 9 is all they're calling it right now, to our knowledge.
I mean, like I said, we're finding stuff in our own solar system.
Yeah.
In our own little thing. And then there's people on Earth that go, there's no way aliens are real. Do you know how dumb we are?
Yeah.
I mean, there's civilizations out there that are so far in front of us.
Well, I think it was until something like 1913, we thought that our solar system was all there was.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
we didn't even know beyond it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't realize half those stars
were galaxies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It really is.
Yeah, it's crazy. What else? Anything else, bud? Because my teeth are floating.
Your teeth are floating.
You know what that means?
What's that mean?
Gotta pee.
Oh, you gotta pee?
Yeah.
Well, go pee. I'll do a story real quick. You want to
do one? It's 10 after 6. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Jesus, what are we doing here?
All right, let's wrap it up.
Is this a Hallmark movie? You got one more. Do one more.
Oh, all right.
Do your favorite one left.
Oh, God. I don't know, man. I'll give you a choice. Okay?
All right.
There's a skeleton recovered from an intriguing Roman-era cemetery in England. May mark the first physical evidence of combat between gladiators and animals.
All right.
UK scientists want to block out the sun to fight climate change.
Yeah, let me hear this craziness.
Want to hear that?
Yeah, let's hear it. What's going on?
All right. So UK scientists will soon begin outdoor geoengineering tests to block the sun. Supported by a $50 million government fund. The project is led by the Advanced Research and Invention Agency and will carefully monitor to make sure it's safe and accurate. The aim is to gather real-world data on whether these technologies could slow the effects of climate change. A separate $11 million program will run alongside it. Together, they make the UK one of the top funders of geoengineering research globally. Here's how blocking sunlight could help, they say.
Read long, Matt. I can't hold it.
All right. All right, he's running. He's running for the bathroom. So here's how blocking sunlight could help us out. They say that geoengineering focuses on methods to reduce the amount of sunlight reaching Earth. A key approach is solar radiation management, which includes spraying reflective particles into the air or using seawater to make clouds brighter. Supporters say this could cool the planet temporarily and reduce damage from extreme heat. It would buy time for deeper cuts to carbon emissions. They believe this research is vital as emissions keep rising and temperatures hit new records. But there's some fears about this too. Despite its promise, SRM is highly controversial. Some experts warn that it could disrupt rainfall patterns needed for food. Others worry it might distract from the real goal, ending fossil fuel use. Professor Mark Symes, who leads the ARIA program, said the risk of crossing climate tipping points makes this research urgent. And plus, they're saying that no global rules yet, and global talks are needed for this. Because, of course, the UK wants to do this, but how about us? How about this? How this affects the United States or Asia or Africa? Right now, there's no international agreement to manage geoengineering. And experts say a global pause on deployment should be considered until one exists. So, Mick, we went over, how blocking sunlight could help.
Yeah.
And we talked about the risks. So, blocking sunlight could help cool the planet temporarily, they're saying. The fears and risks are this could mess up, patterns needed for food. And plus, there's no global rules yet for this. Like the UK wants to block the sun, but how about asking the U.S. or Asia or Africa what they think?
Here's the thing I'm hoping that the UK doesn't find it, that it helps their teeth. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping. Because that's like the one thing we have over them right now is better teeth. But no,
depends on who your friends are, man.
I think there are so many discoveries that are going to be made in the next 10 to 20 years with technology and AI the way it's going. And I do think let me ask you something. We basically are putting all of the knowledge that human beings have into computers. I think computers are going to be able to cross-reference things that humans would never think of.
Of course.
And you're going to see cures. You're going to see inventions. You're going to see life-changing things that are going to affect all of us immensely. Some are going to be weird and hard, but some are going to be incredible. And I think, Matt, we are living, and I know people always thought this, but if the facts are facts, we're living in one of those periods in human history that will be talked about in 1,000 years. The birth of technology.
It's going to be so vastly different soon.
So I really think I'm going to die in a different world that I was born in. I'm going to die in a different world than I was born in. And I think that's awesome. That in my lifetime, I saw.
You don't have any concerns, though?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah. But, with any great progress and advancement in societal life, there's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of change. There's a lot of people taking advantage of others. But in the long run, humanity has only gotten better. Say what you want. The richest person in the world 200 years ago had a harder life than the poorest person.
That's true. They got air conditioning. They've got the internet.
They have anything.
Yeah, sure.
They have food everywhere.
Right.
It's a joke that people go, I want to go back to the way it was. Do you? You want to go back to a time where if you got a cold, you had a 40% chance of dying? Like, it just makes me incredibly insane sometimes. So when I see this technology coming at us at rapid fire and the advancements that medicine is dude, look at the 20 years of surgery. Look back at surgery over 20 years. They barely cut people open anymore for stuff. You used to see people with the huge
laparoscopic surgery changed everything.
Surgery changed everything, and it's going to get even more precise.
Well, it's going to be machines operating on you now.
You're going to have a robot with laser accuracy.
Yeah,
that won't nick your uterus during a C-section.
Yeah,
that won't nick your arteries during heart surgery.
Isn't it crazy to think that AI is going to possibly take away the jobs of doctors?
Well, I don't think AI can diagnose. I mean, it can. Somebody still has to tell you what's going on.
I kind of feel like that too. But after a while,
maybe we may walk up.
Yeah.
I believe one day you'll walk up. They'll prick your finger, take your blood, and they'll go, "All right, you got to take these 31 things for 4 days. This will take care of this. You got a weird case of this happening. Now we can see that genetically. This is That's where 50 years from now we're going. It's going to be
no
crazy.
Jobs,
nothing,
no profit left. That's going to be an interesting one. If there is no profit left in the world.
Yeah, profit's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Profit's a weird thing, but profit is what it moves us.
Yeah.
If you don't have a reward, why do the work? And I don't think people understand that that's an okay thing to think. It's just once you win the prize, don't try to make the prize bigger. Don't get greedy. Don't get ugly with your success.
And then now,
like if Elon Musk was worth $1 billion, would any part of his life change? Nothing. The way he lives, nothing would change.
No,
if you have $1 billion, you can do anything you want in the world.
Yeah.
If you need to own 10 homes, you're just a dick.
Was he the one that said that that's what it's like being a billionaire? Like you go places and it's like everything is free.
Of course.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You walk up to a hotel and you go, I got 40 people. I want all the rooms.
Yeah.
Oh, we only have 10. We'll get them out. I'll give them each $5,000. Let them go and I'll take over.
Yeah.
It's just when you can do that, you are God for a day. Every day you wake up, you're a God because everyone worships you. If I ever meet Elon Musk, I'm not even going to beat around the bush. Write me a check. That's the only thing I'm interested in with you. I mean, you're a smart guy.
About SpaceX.
I really don't want to because he doesn't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? I mean, he would want to talk about it. But what I mean is like, if you're having dinner with that guy, you think he wants to talk about, I don't know. He's a weird one, but
he wants to play with silverware, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, Matt, listen, we got to get a urinal in here or something. I can't do this every couple
Probably make
weeks.
that happen, man. Get you a special chair.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk to
a potty.
Yeah, and by the way, we got to check with our HR department because I don't know if I'm allowed to just get a 5-gallon bucket and just be in here, get me off camera.
We'll get you a jug.
All right, everybody. Tomorrow on the show, so happy. Great comedian Bill King will be up here telling some funny, hilarious stories. Really looking forward to it. Also this week, David Bascombe from The Blast. Matt, tell everybody how to find us every day.
First, please share this. If you're on Facebook, we would love you if you did that. And then, of course, you can find us on Facebook right now. It's YouTube, youtube.com/Mickey Talks Pod. That's where you want to go to find all of our archive stuff. And you can also go anywhere pretty much a podcast is found now. So Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify, all those places you can find Mickey Talks.
Thank you, Matt. Always a absolute pleasure doing this show with you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
I want to say this too. Our Facebook numbers are going to be down because of the way the algorithm works. And
we're spread out over a bunch of platforms.
Yeah, and those other platforms are starting to. So bear with us, guys. Thank you so much for watching continuously. The show's just getting better and better. And for us, I mean, it's getting better for us. We're trying to make it better for you guys every day. Like I said, tomorrow, Bill King. We will see everybody then. Matt Davis, as always, thank you. The best partner a guy could have. See everybody tomorrow on Mickey Talks. Thank you.